We're chillin'! We're chillin' with Rick. He's gonna get to the story quick. Yeah, we're chillin'. Yes, we're chillin' with Rick. Chillin' with Rick, everybody. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the sponsors. Upscale Exotics, reptile-only specialty store that carries exotic reptiles looking for homes. They have snakes, lizards, geckos, turtles, chameleons, tarantulas, and more. It's the store of the creepy critters. With all the supplies, enclosures, and food, it's your one-stop shop, and they have knowledgeable staff located at 145 West Seneca Street in Sherrill, 315-367-5002. Games People Play, formerly Mind Games. It's a game store with so much more. They've been in business for 28 years. They have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, or Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and also sports cards. They also have retro video games and board games. Weekly events held in-store and a knowledgeable staff located at 114 Madison Street in Oneida, 315-363-2448. Whitestown Automotive, quality repairs at a good price, just up the Thruway Bridge in Westmoreland. Boogie Dad's Music, working on producing and distributing music on all platforms, and great royalty kickbacks for all performers. Oneida Carpets. Oneida Carpets, family owned and operated by Scott and Lynn White. They're both installers. They install carpet, laminate, vinyl, luxury vinyl, plank flooring, and ceramic tile. All of your flooring needs in one store. They're located at 174 Madison Street in Oneida, 315-361-9800. Big Girl Stump Removal. Do you have a stump that needs to be removed? I'm talking about a tree stump. Then call up Big Earl. He's a great guy with very fair prices, and he'll grind the stump right down to the roots. Give him a call at 315-363-5217. Papa Top. That place out there is just like Florida. It's a tropical paradise out there on that big old deck. They have, obviously, the outdoor deck, Adirondack chairs, picnic tables, bar stools. Grab some friends and go listen to some live music at Papa Top. Frog's Bar. Outdoor bar, picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, 2 fire pits for when fall comes. The owner, Mary, is phenomenal. She's a friend of mine. She wears the chillin' zip up proudly. And there's live music there all summer. Oneida Calet Civic Center. Upcoming events include NU Wrestling on May 27th. I'll be at that. Absolute Adele, an Adele tribute show, coming October 22nd at 3 p.m. Get your tickets for that, oneidacalet.com. Also coming on Saturday, February 24th, 2024, is Appetite for Voltage, a Guns N' Roses AC/DC tribute band. Get your tickets at oneidacalet.com. Also, I want to give a shout out to my boys at Disruption Network, Z and Justin. Watch them on Local Music Mondays, every Monday. Also, a shout out to Big Papa and Jeff. They're the hosts of The Good, The Band, and The Ugly. I just did an episode of that. It'll air May 22nd. I also want to give a shout out to Before August. Go check them out. All right, on to my next guest. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chillin' with Rick. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Please invite your friends to this. Share away. I got to give 2 shout outs, maybe 3, I can't remember. Emily Lands, your former teacher, is here. Jose Lopez. Mike Farrar for my theme music, and Monster Mike for doing all these posters that he does. He works very hard on them. So without further ado, the main event guest from the band Showtime, bassist extraordinaire, and the godfather of freaking music, Jose Lopez, as he shakes his head.
How you doing, brother?
Good, how are you, man? Good to see you. He really is a godfather.
A few times over, actually.
See, he sucks on this cigar and it reminds me of the Godfather.
Hey. I'll tell you. Hi, everybody.
Huh?
Hi, Emily.
Yes. Shout out to her, man. She loves you.
Wonderful student. I never, it never gets old for me. I've been teaching now for, if you count the years I taught privately, 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years if you count the years I taught privately. But so never gets old running into former students and them coming up at shows and at wherever. It's awesome.
They do know you're a superstar, right?
I don't brag about it.
Neither do I.
I do teach music, so I do where it makes sense to work it in.
Mm-hmm.
I do bring it up. Especially if I'm working with older students who, if I want to show them that I practice what I preach in the classroom and stuff, it helps.
Yep.
You know, you get kids, okay, do it this way. Well, why? Why should I do it this way? Well, if you do it this way, then you can do this. And I'll pull up a video and something like that. You know, it makes sense. But it's not that I'm trying to keep it secret or anything like that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I get a lot of students coming to school and say stuff like, my parents love going to see your band, stuff like that. So that's great, you know. I love that. So.
Yeah. I mean, you guys started right out of high school.
In high school, yeah.
In high school.
Yeah. We were, you know, like I said, this is 29 years this year for Justin, Joe, and I since we started playing together in '94. And we were all still in school. Justin was in like 7th grade or something like that, and you know, Joe respectively, and Joe 8th, me 9th, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Something in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Makes you feel old when you think about it like that.
How young are you, Jose? You're right behind me, I think.
I'm 44.
I'm 46.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I saw one the other day. A buddy of mine, Mark Paquette. He's a guitar player. He's a teacher down at Oneonta College, which is where I went to college.
Yeah.
His first year teaching there was my first year as a student there in 1999. And he posted on Facebook or something a couple days ago, just finished my 24th year teaching at Oneonta. And I went, wait a minute, hold on. That means that was 24 years ago that I started. Wow. And that hit me, it just hit me weird.
Yeah.
You think about high school, and high school was forever ago.
Yeah.
But college doesn't seem like it was forever ago. Oh, it was.
Did you always want to be a teacher? We didn't discuss this last time.
It was always in the mix. I come from a family of teachers.
Okay.
Mine and Joey's grandfather, Joey Rossi, the drummer from Showtime.
Yep.
We were first cousins. Our grandfather, Frank Rossi, passed away a couple years ago, 95 years old. He was a teacher. And then retired an administrator, a principal, and even a superintendent, acting superintendent at the end of his career. Our Aunt Mary was a teacher. She's retired. Our cousin Lisa is a teacher. Just so there's been a lot of teachers in the family.
There's a lot of brains in the family.
Well, I don't know about that. I think I might have lost.
You're very smart, Jose. Don't sell yourself short.
I was in all the right rows, but that one I might not have lined up for. I don't know. So it was always in the mix. It was always a possibility. When I was living down in New York City back in '01, I started teaching private lessons, bass lessons, and then when I came back up this way, I started teaching private lessons with Carmen Carmonica, who just passed away recently. And I was there with him for 8 years in our offices in New Hartford, teaching with him for 8 years, and then started teaching in public schools from there on, and Herkimer College and stuff. So I've been teaching in schools now for 15 years. Yeah. So.
Do you want to try for like principal or superintendent or
No,
anything?
No,
you just want to be a teacher?
I want to be a teacher. I want to be in the classroom. I want to, those jobs are tough jobs. A lot of responsibility, administration, stuff like that. I've had a lot of friends who've gone that route, and there's good and bad to it,
Jose Lopez is here.
Church bells.
You remember from last year, don't you?
Yes. Welcome everyone.
He did this like Can you believe it's been a year since you've been here?
That was, yeah. Well,
Almost to the day.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I was like, was he here? Was a year ago we sat
Well,
here
you weren't
and
here
talked?
September for my shindig. But,
Yes,
yeah.
but we did this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a year ago, and I was just like, wow, that's time flies.
I
time
rewatched
flies.
it a couple times. We had a good time.
We did. We were here a long time.
Yeah.
We were here. He's like, we're gonna try to keep it 20 minutes.
20 minutes, my
An
ass.
hour later, we were like, what's for dinner? Where am I sleeping?
I got a little sofa over there for you.
That works.
There
That
you
works.
go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I was I'm gonna go right up in the knot of the tree over there.
Right where my kitten was. She says you can have it.
But yeah, so teaching was always sort of in the mix. I wasn't sure exactly how or when. You know, like I said, the teaching privately thing came naturally, as a lot of musicians in the area do that.
Yeah.
Joe, my drummer, Joe, he teaches drums. If anyone's looking for drum lessons from a wonderful, wonderful drummer and wonderful teacher, yeah, and a lot of them have over the years. So it's sort of a natural transition kind of thing for some people.
Yep.
And then, like I said, I was here. It was 2009. My sister was in school. My youngest sister, Kate, was in school at Mohawk.
Yep.
And her music teacher was leaving to go out on leave for like a year, taking a leave of absence for a year, and said, "Why don't you apply for the job?" I said, "I don't have any of the certifications yet. I haven't done a lot of that. I had graduated college with a degree in music, but there was a lot of other certifications you had to get along the way, and stuff that I just hadn't yet done."
Yeah.
And I put in for it. I went in and interviewed for it, and I got the job. And that from there on, I've been teaching ever since.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of old students come up to you, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I've taught everything from pre-K up through college.
Yeah.
So I've had kids that were 21 years old when I had them, and that was 12 years ago now. So now they're in their 30s, that kind of thing like that. And then I've got kids that I had when they're in pre-K and kindergarten and stuff. So yeah, I've been where I am now at Herkimer Bosie's. I've been there now for 7 years. This is my 7th year there, and I'm enjoying it. I like the population of students that we have,
Yeah.
and it's a great program.
Yes.
So
Very good, man. You're a do-gooder.
I tried.
I tried.
I thought I tried.
How do you not love this guy? Great friend of mine.
Oh, there's a lot of people that don't. My wife.
God bless you.
I'm sorry. I apologize again.
Damn that good living he's putting you through. All that Showtime money.
Shh. She still thinks this is a volunteer gig. I tell her they're all benefits.
Yes.
They benefit me. No.
So there was a time a couple weeks ago that I didn't think you liked me anymore, and I'm going to tell you this story.
Uh-oh.
I was at the gig, my first time there. Obviously, it's Ryan Quinn's last night. I got to be there. I love Quinn
Okay.
like he's my brother.
Right.
I love all you guys like you're my brother.
Right.
You included. So I go up and I'm making my rounds through the Showtime band. You're all friends of mine. And I get to you. You give me the bro hug, the handshake. Everything's good. What's up? Nothing. I was like, soon we're chilling. That's what I got out of you. I go back. I go back to the table. I said, honey. She goes, what? I go, I don't think Jose likes me anymore. I go, maybe he's in his own world because it's Quinn's last gig. Maybe it's right before showtime.
That was exactly it. And I'll tell you, that was exactly. As a matter of fact, Mike.
I was a little butthurt.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. As a matter of fact, Mike Sales, our now newest member of the band,
he is doing my show too, by the way.
Said the exact same thing to me at midway through the show when we took a break or something. He looked at me and went, "Are you okay?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm fine. What's going on?"
Yeah.
And the "I'm fine, what's going on" comes after we've gotten on stage and started to play.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I start playing, I'm often stuck in here.
Yep.
I'm often.
Yeah.
Especially right before I go on stage, kind of thing, which is probably when we bumped into each other, if I remember correctly. It was
like a half hour before stage.
Yeah, it was like, it was not
You went
long.
and did your little photo shoot with the new band.
We were. Yeah. I knew we had a photo shoot going on. We had, we had Mike coming in. Everyone was singing different songs. There were moving parts that night that aren't usually there with our shows.
Yeah.
Showtime gets to a point where we're so comfortable and ready to go that you could throw a monkey wrench literally at us and it wouldn't affect us. We'd go, what was that? Okay, boom, ba-da-dum, doom, and we'd play. When we're playing shows, weddings, it's always like this with weddings for me.
Yeah.
Because at weddings, I'm the one in the band who does all of the announcements and all of the
phenomenal MC.
And I have to do all that stuff. So with weddings, I'm always like that in my head. And same thing. The guys and other people like yourself have come up to me and gone, something wrong with Jose? Is he okay? Is he feeling well?
It's like I just texted him.
because when I'm not like that, I'm too much of a person. I'm like, oh, they're like, okay, back up, get away, you know. So, but that's what happens is that I get in my own head and I'm just thinking. I'm just focused. I focused on what I have to do, what we have to do as a band. And so I apologize that you felt that way, obviously.
Yeah. I knew it was bullshit on my part.
I'm sure, you know, there's nothing to it, or maybe there is.
He doesn't like me.
Welcome to my last chillin'.
You're going to be here yearly, just like Tim and Joe. And
yearly. But yeah, so sorry about that.
No,
like I
it's all
said, don't
good,
ever
man.
want anyone to catch that vibe. But like I said, I've been accused of just sort of getting into my own head, and like I said, with gigs that, you know, that we're thinking a lot, that we have to think more, that, you know, with the Boilermaker, you know, stuff like that.
Yep.
There's moving parts to it.
Yeah.
All right, it's not just us. We got other people coming into play, and there's this, that, and this one's going to sit in. And that one, we got to go do this first. We got to go over. I don't know. So there's just so much going on.
I get it.
That you know, and the older I get, the more I just don't want to forget anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess anything up. Like, hold on, let me write that down. Okay.
That's what I've been doing, index cards for this. I mean, I feel like I'm blowing it this season. I've been on the show for 7 months. Like yesterday, I had Not Robots on. And it went 38 minutes. That's what I want it to be. Right around in that area. And I felt like I let those guys down. Because I feel like I lost it over the 7-month period. I'm just rusty, that's all.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. I mean, it's natural.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Listen. I've been in your chair before too, where you're interviewing people, and I know how that is. And you want things in order. You want your questions in order. You want it to have a flow too. Yeah. You don't want to sit there and go, okay, all right.
With you, it's easy.
Where were you born? Hold on. No. When did you lose your virginity?
That's what I'm going to start asking.
Yeah, no. So, you know, I get it. I get what you're, you know, trying to do. And sometimes there's an easy flow to it, and sometimes it feels more like work. Yeah. And that's the same thing with gigs. Sometimes you just walk into a gig, you set up, you play, you tear down, and go, man, that was great. And other gigs you get to, you set up, you're like, ha, ha, ha. You play, you're like, ha, ha. You tear down, you're like,
Justin said it best. You know Justin Smithson.
I've heard of him.
I love you, Jose. So
I've heard of him. He's at DiMattio's tonight, by the way, and of course this isn't airing tonight.
No.
But
2 days from now it'll air. Friday.
He's at DiMattio's
tonight.
Right now.
Yeah,
he's at right now.
Tonight.
So maybe I'll stop down. Maybe I won't. Let's find out.
I almost begged you to go to Papa Top when he was there.
Oh,
but I think you might have had a lunch. I don't know. Maybe
I am. If was that a Sunday?
Yeah, it was.
Sundays. If I get a Sunday off, I covet them. Because I don't get any days off.
I get that.
I mean, between school and the band and the fire department and coaching or whatever else it is that I'm doing, when I get I have a lot of stuff that I got to get done, you know, so it's tough. And believe me, I love that idea of just going up and hanging out and whatnot. That's great. I just don't always get that opportunity.
I finally had a conversation with Joe Rossi. Yeah. He was there with his girlfriend. And they had a boy to him. Sorry, honey. So I go, and he just looked at me. He goes, "Hey, Rick." And I was like, "Joe?" Because I didn't recognize him.
Sure.
I go, "You do talk." He goes, "I apologize for that, man." Just like you, once you're there in the gig, he goes, "I'm just concentrating on drumming."
Yep.
He goes, "I'm focused."
Yeah, he's focused.
And we had a great conversation, about a half hour. He's a wonderful guy, man.
Oh, man. Well, that's amazing.
This isn't for him, though.
Amazing. No, listen, he's been, you can actually pull up on, it pops up every year. We did this interview on television a few years back.
I just saw it.
Was having to do with the Boilermaker coming up and whatnot. And we had just had our 20th anniversary show at that point, so obviously this was 6 years ago with Showtime. And Joe and Justin and I went and did the interview. And I mean, they asked questions, and each of us sort of gave our own version of responses to it for just about everything. It wasn't like there was one mouthpiece kind of thing, you know. It was even more some like, you know, you want to take this one? Okay, you know. So believe me, it's just he's got to be comfortable, just like anybody else. You got to be comfortable in what you're talking about. Some people are you know, have the gift of gab. And other people just sort of talk when they need to, when they want to, kind of thing, you know. So, you know, we can rattle about anything here, you know, and I'm good to go. But yeah, no, Joe. I mean, he and I obviously were first cousins, more like brothers. We, you know, have lived together. We've, you know, traveled together. A lot of miles, a lot of years, a lot of chats, a lot of cigars, a lot of everything. So.
Well, like I said, we had a half-hour conversation. I got to know him. I talked to his beautiful girlfriend, got to know her, and she's wonderful. Apparently, she's a singer.
Well, yeah, the talented family comes from that. But so yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you got that chance, that opportunity. That's awesome.
And he was just there, you know, sitting with him and his girlfriend, not minding any business, you know, just talking amongst themselves, and there it was. It was cool to talk to him. Yeah,
so Sundays for me are sort of, like I said, if I get them off, like this weekend here, we're playing Friday night at Harley Davidson in Utica. Saturday we're playing at One Jenny in New Hartford, and Sunday we're playing at Sylvan Beach, Harpoonetti's.
I gotta attend
Sylvan Beach. Or you know, so, and then I'm back in school Monday. So it's, you know what I mean. I don't get time off. I don't get time off, and I don't get days to sit around. And after school, I'm always doing stuff, you know. I'm always busy. Tonight, this was, you know, went and picked up Carl today, our keyboard player. He had to have his vehicle worked on, so I got out of school. I ran up, picked him up from his house, brought him to get his vehicle. I came back down, got ready real quick, turned around, and came up here. So
I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. You know, everyone's got stuff.
I met Carl for the first time that night too. He shook my hand. He didn't say a damn word.
He's another one who's
805.
He's another one who's soft. Yeah, I mean, soft-spoken, but like I said, when rattle about stuff that we're all interested in stuff, heck yeah. I mean, but I mean, just Carl. I've known Carl. Probably, geez, I don't even want to say, probably 35 years or so.
Wow.
But until he joined the band now, a little over 2 years ago, I really didn't know him. Really didn't know him. I just knew of him. I would knew him to bump into him at gigs and stuff like that. Even sat in with each other a few times over the years. Nothing, you know. But now that I've gotten to know him, man, what a freak! The best. And I remember when he joined the band, the guys from Classified, who he had been with for 18, 20 years before, reached out to me via Facebook or whatever. We're like, you got the best, man. He's the best. And I was like, you know, I go, well, that's cool. That's good to know. Obviously, you know, they're all giving him the nod. And he, you know, after Classified broke up and stopped playing there, Carl had basically announced sort of a semi-retirement kind of situation. But he sent me a message through Facebook. He sent me a message, said, Jose, I want you to know that there's only two bands that I'll come out and start playing with again. If 805 were to get back together, or if Showtime ever needs a keyboard player. And that for me was like, wow, that means a lot coming from him. I mean, because obviously we all looked up to him over the years through, you know, bands like 805 and all the other wonderful stuff Carl's done over the years, touring and stuff. And so that meant a lot. So obviously when our former keyboard player, Mike Morrow, had to step away from the band, he was the natural call. He was the first call. And it was like, honestly, there wasn't a long list there of people. We called him, and he said, that he wanted to hop in. So it's been 2 great years with him. He kicks butt and takes numbers. You know, so I love it.
He is
love
right
it.
on there, man.
He's awesome, man.
Awesome.
He's awesome.
You guys are freaking phenomenal. I know you hear it all the time, but you guys are top notch. And I hear it from other musicians. They're like, I just checked out Showtime. They don't even have a flaw. It's like, well,
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
you're a phenomenal MC too.
Well,
You do that good.
that comes with, like I said, the gift of gab
Yeah.
and out of necessity too.
Yeah.
For things like weddings and stuff like that, you need someone who can just take the mic and take control.
Yep.
And obviously with the band, believe me, we would prefer to just play song
Yeah.
till the end of the night.
Yep.
But that doesn't always flow that way, you know. And sometimes you need to say a few things. Obviously, that last gig you were at with Ryan and Mike and everybody, there was a lot to be said that night.
Yeah.
There was a lot to be said. There were a lot of people to thank. There were a lot of people to recognize. And yeah, so I do what I can. Being a teacher helps that because I'm doing presentations all the time. I'm talking. I'm instructing. I'm in a way I'm on a stage.
Yeah.
In that sense that I'm working with the students, as a class, and then one-on-one individually if I'm with them, whatever the situation may be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's awesome. And now Mike Sales, who you said is going to be on the show here.
I talked with him a good bit that night.
Mike is absolutely wonderful.
He goes, I'm just a guy that can sing.
He
Can you sing?
He is not just a guy who can sing. He's a very talented guy. He comes from a musical family. You could talk to him about all that. He was over the last couple of years that Ryan was in the band. Ryan was in the band with us for 2 years.
Yep.
And over those 2 years, there were a couple gigs and things like that Ryan couldn't make. We're like, well, geez, what, Ryan? That's big shoes to fill, kind of thing. I mean, who are you gonna get? Well, we all knew Mike. We've known Mike for 20-something years. And we called Mike and said, hey, you have these dates open that you could fill in? And he absolutely sure. And we got together, we rehearsed, we ran through some stuff, and he's played a handful of gigs with us over the last few years. And every time, it's a blast. It's fun. It's and with those fill-in gigs, we weren't asking for a lot out of him. We were just like, listen, we really just need you to come and sing these parts and stuff. If anything else you can add, great. Now, obviously Ryan announced that he was leaving the band, and for all good reasons. Everything's wonderful.
How did that make you feel when he announced that he was leaving?
You know what?
I was broken.
Ryan handled that better than any. Now, we've had quite a few members in Showtime over the years. We've had quite a few. Not all have ended well, the relationship between us and the other. Not all. And I'm just being honest, Right now, would I get together with anyone who's ever been in the band and sit down and have dinner? Yes, I would. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But at the time, not all were great. Yeah. Ryan handled that so well, so professionally, and on a personal standpoint, so well. I'm proud of him. Yeah. I'm proud of him because he is intelligent and he is sincere beyond his years. For a 30-year-old kid, he really is. He handled it so well.
Agreed.
He came to us at a rehearsal. He said, "Guys, here's what's going on," and I just feel that this is the right time. And we all looked at each other. We broke down. Said, no. I was tying a noose. That's it. It's over. I'm gonna go to Chillin's backyard. There's a tree. No.
You want me to give you a wedgie or something?
No, he handled it very well.
Yeah, he did.
He gave us ample time to prepare, which was not an easy thing for the
beginning. Gave you a couple months, right?
Yeah, it was not an easy thing because we all looked at each other afterward and we were like, "What are we going to do? Yeah. What are we?" So, Mike,
did it go through your head? Maybe we'll go down to what are you guys, a 5-piece right now? They'll go down to a 4-piece.
No. That's always an option if it has to be, because that's how Showtime started, was a 4-piece. Yeah. Guitar, bass, drums, keyboard. That's how it started. I mean, 3-Pete was Justin, Joe, and I first before that. Yeah. But then Showtime, when Showtime started, it was 4-piece. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it was for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we've had other members in and out over the years. But right away, Mike was the first thought. But Mike obviously was committed to another band, and the question was, one, would he want to leave that band? Two, we work a lot more than the other band he was in.
Yeah.
And that's a commitment. That's a heck of a commitment to be able to be there for all our gigs and all that. And, and it's a lot. It's asking a lot of time from people. People don't understand that one of the reasons Showtime has stayed relevant for 26 years is that we're always playing.
Yeah.
We're always playing. You know that you can say, where's Showtime playing
Every
tonight?
weekend.
Where are they
There's
playing
a
tonight?
rare Saturday you don't have anything going on.
Oh my
That's
God!
rare.
Oh, rare! Oh, I can't even. It wasn't that.
I think you attended a soccer game.
But we're always playing.
Yeah.
Now it might not be something you can go to. It might be a wedding.
Yeah.
Might be a private party.
Yep.
But
You
you
got
know
a
we're
lot of
playing.
them.
But you know we're playing. You know we're somewhere.
Yep.
There's Showtime playing night. Oh, they're playing. Oh, on their website looks like, on their Facebook says private party.
Yeah.
So you know we're playing. Maybe we're not someplace you could see us,
Yep.
but you know we're playing.
Yeah.
And then of course, then again, you know that usually at least once a weekend, whether it's a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon or a Thursday night or something, you'll see us someplace out in public. The clubs we play, One Jetty, Lucan's, wherever it may be.
The gag, wherever.
Yeah. So right away, Mike was our first, and we all sort of looked at each other. We talked about it, and we said, "All right, let's make this call." We didn't even think past what if.
Okay.
He said no, because we were like, let's see what happens first, and then if he says no, he can't, then we'll deal with that as it comes. And he took right away. He said yes. So it was funny because he said yes, and I was like, whoa, buddy, whoa. I was like, I'm not asking you to prom here.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to commit. No, but he did right away. He said yes.
Yep.
But then he stepped back and said, you know what? Let me talk to my girlfriend about it, the logistics, what it entails, and then we talked whatever it was a week later or whatever it was, and he was all in.
Yeah.
And when I say all in, I mean all in.
Yeah.
I mean, he is so gung-ho now. The energy that he's bringing right now is so high. It's like it just replenishes anything that you may go, oh man, so the band make a change. No, it just, yes, we did. But listen to this kind of thing. And like I said, he is just, the energy is so there. And like I said, his talents and his abilities are already shining. And he's doing more. He's playing more rhythm guitar. He's playing more percussion. It's awesome.
Todd Smithson did a 40-minute video of you guys at Sharky's.
Okay.
And I watched the whole 40 minutes with Mike Sales. Oh my God. Woof. Woof. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to remember,
Yeah.
we literally, this is the beginning of
That
this
was his first show.
iteration. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of this iteration or version of Showtime.
Yeah.
With the five of us.
Showtime Chapter 15.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
Imagine how good it's going to get.
What were rehearsals like with him? Did he catch right on? Obviously, he probably
Yes.
did.
Well, there's when you're joining Showtime.
I'm a big behind-the-scenes kind of guy.
When you're joining Showtime, there's a big catalog.
Yeah.
There's a back catalog. I mean,
You gotta sing Africa.
well, but you come out and hear us, and you hear us play 40 songs in a night, but
Yeah.
there's another 140 songs we know.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, learning that many songs
Uh-huh.
is not the easiest thing to do. Now, like I said, Mike's been in the business a long time.
Yep.
He's done a lot of the songs. He knows the genre of music that we do. He's played with us now a bunch of times over the last couple of years. So it was actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
He's done a ton of work. Don't. I'm not making it sound like, it was like instant. He's doing a ton of work, and we are too. We've actually rehearsed more in the last couple months than we had in years. We're getting together about once a week.
Yep.
About once a week, And we hadn't done that in a long time. In the summers, it's almost impossible for us to rehearse.
Yeah.
Between our schedule in the summer for 3, 4, 5 shows a week, Justin playing solo, before Ryan playing solo, stuff like that. It's just, there was just no time. So summer months are completely nixed when it comes to most time for rehearsals.
Yeah.
So we try to rehearse through the winter, fall months, late fall, winter, early spring.
Is there such thing as you guys slowing down in that time?
Well, yeah, we slow down to a couple times a week, kind of thing, where maybe this week the trio plays on Friday and the full band plays on Saturday.
Yep.
So there's some version of Showtime always playing on a Friday or Saturday, basically. Yep. Yes, there's a Friday here and there in like January, February that you book all of the. You got to remember, in the summer you get all the outdoor stuff. Yes. You get the outdoor festivals. You get the beach. Yep. You get all this stuff that doesn't happen in the winter. Mm-hmm. So you only have a certain number of indoor clubs that have music that have inside. So once you fill all those dates with those clubs, then it becomes we got this date open, that date over there. So that, okay, well, maybe we could put the trio over here, that kind of thing. Yeah. Obviously, we would prefer to play every night we play as the full band. Yeah. That we would love that. Yep. But it's not always an option. It just isn't. There aren't nearly as many clubs as there used to be. Yep. When we started, there were a lot of clubs to play, stuff like that. We will travel, we go all over the place. That's not an issue. But, like I said, it's busy. But yeah, so Mike's doing a wonderful job. The chemistry's there. Like I said, if you've heard Showtime with Mike, whether it was one of the gigs he filled in over the last couple of years or in the last couple of weeks that we've been playing together, it's only the beginning. Yeah. It's only the beginning. And I'm quoting Chicago. Yep. Only the beginning.
I don't know if you're aware of my schedule. I'm an overnight guy. It's hard for me to get to wherever you guys are. Sure. But I don't know when I'm going to see you again, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And I got to tell you another story about the gig that night. I was hanging out with Big Papa and Jeff from The Good, The Band, and The Ugly. And I won't say how crazy them two are. But they're like, let's go shake Ryan's hand, tell him good luck. Ryan shook their hand, he hugged me, he goes, I love you. I was like, oh, Quinny, you do this to me right now, you're 30 seconds away from hitting the stage. I go, I love you too. I could go up there and kick ass like I know you will. He's like, done. And he went up there and he kicked ass.
Yeah, well, he blew it up, and I knew he was kind of that. He actually was the one who chose all the songs you heard that night were songs that he was like, I want to. He goes, I want to play all these songs that night. And actually, we didn't even get to all of them because we just had so many. Yeah. But those were all songs that. Now there were some songs that I sang, some that Justin sang, whatever it was. But they were just songs that he loved to do with Showtime. Yeah. And so he sent the list. Then we made it into set lists that we could that worked, that moved well and whatnot. And it was a great show. It was a wonderful show. I mean, obviously, like I said, that's not the last time.
No,
he's going to play with us. He's going to play with us again. It's just, like I said, it's a matter of time and him figuring things out with what stuff he's got going on. Yep. I'm just so happy for him. He's a wonderful kid.
I texted him today, asked him to do lunch. He's working on his parents' house. Yeah, so. See how good of a heart that kid's got.
He's like I said, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of great people in this band, and not just musicians, but great people. Yeah. Great people that just would do anything for you, give you the shirt off their back kind of thing. If I give you the shirt off my back, you can use it as a tent. So we've been very fortunate. Like I said, and right now it's the same thing. Justin, Joe, Carl, Mike, myself. We've got our sound man, Arthur L. Simmons III. Sir Arthur.
Are you going to miss Reginald Quigley? Are you going to miss him?
We're going to miss Reggie, absolutely. Reggie was, AKA, so. No, but we're going to obviously. Listen, I can go back and tell you stuff I miss about every single guy we've ever had in the band. Sure. Things that they brought to the band, their talents, their personality, stuff like that. I can do that, but every single, as I said, every single iteration, every single version of Showtime has had its own thing. Yeah. We're not going to be just like it was with Ryan. We're not going to be just like it was with Jerry and Mike. We're not going to be just like it was with the original Showtime. It's just, that's not, every time it's changed, it's changed, and it's good. It's very good.
It's very good.
You know, knock on wood. We did not plan that.
Nope.
That was
we did not.
No.
That's like you and Justin doing that little boogie that you do.
Oh, well, we do that. That's planned. Yeah, that's planned.
I did it with you one time.
You could see, if you watch my mouth, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What comes after 3? 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. Yeah, that's.
When you guys were at the Tiger, I did it with you, and Justin was laughing.
Yeah. That's so we have a good time. We have a good time. But yeah, so that's we've got a very busy summer schedule coming up.
Yes, you do.
Extremely busy.
I'm doing 60 of these.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. There'll be a lot of chilling going on.
60 episodes in 18 weeks.
Just don't get frostbite.
No.
So yeah, no, we got a lot of great shows coming up. We're doing the Boilermaker again this year.
Awesome.
Which is wonderful. We will have special guests and whatnot, as we always do with that. I'm not going to tell you just yet who. But
who's coming, Jose?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I do want to know.
It rhymes with pelvis.
Oh, Elvis is coming. All right. We didn't have this much fun last time. You're bringing your A game tonight, man. I love it.
Speaking of last time, we need to talk about things like camera angles, okay?
Yeah.
I watched ours. I thought you were, interviewing a sumo wrestler. I was like, holy Jesus, am I that big? Woo! By the way, there's a chillin' sign here. You might not be able to see it past me, but it's there.
It's a nice one, too, isn't it?
So I wanted to talk to you about camera angles. Yeah. I'm a pretty good-looking guy from about
you were a stud muffin.
Here up.
No.
Yeah, so if you could bring it right in, that's
Hold on,
hot.
I'll go zoom it.
That's hot right there. Everything else, train wreck. Train wreck. So let's work on that, would you? As it is, he's got the wide angle. You guys can't see it. There's a wide angle lens on there. It's like just to fit me in.
Don't listen to him.
But it's going to be a great summer. We're going to have a great time. Like I said, looking forward to the possibilities that we have. Today, this happens almost every day. Joe and the guys all my phone starts going bloom, 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 bloom. And
it wasn't me that time.
I look down, and there 36 what? And it's the guys talking about songs and rehearsals and gigs and of course I'm in school, so it's not like I'm sitting there going, whoa, I can't respond, all the time.
I get it.
But
95% of the time you respond to me.
I try. Then it's like I said. Then it's just the timing of what am I doing at that moment that I okay.
Me and you have maintained a pretty good friendship.
Oh yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said. I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I get it.
And you can ask anyone who considers me a friend or acquaintance. I get invited to. Just to hang out, something like this, but without a camera. What I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a camera there when I walk in, I'm wondering what's going on. Hey,
show your Superman logo.
Yeah, this
oh
one
yeah, here. I bow.
This is like a moving billboard. Okay, I come down the street and people are like, "Hey, it's chilling. Look." Oh. By the way, congratulations on the Calais being up on the marquee.
Thank you.
I
had a Genesee Joe ad going.
Yeah, there's a
newspaper article.
You by the way, we were on the Calais marquee a couple times ourselves. Yep. So that's something you got in common with Showtime again now. That's great.
Yep.
And like I said, what you're doing here is it's amazing. It's wonderful. The time you're taking, what you're doing to promote local music, to promote artists in the area and stuff like that. It's outstanding. I don't see anybody else doing that on a basis like this where they're not being paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of people who've supported live music and locals for years. But
I'm giving you $100 bill. What do you mean you're not being paid for it?
No, I think you're not getting paid. I know I'm getting paid. Daddy needs to eat.
I'll take you to dinner.
No, you won't. That'll cost you more. Quick story. Okay. So years ago, Joe Rossi and I are recording some tracks for John Liebing, the great John Liebing.
Yes.
And we love you, John. And he says, listen, now it was just an honor to be asking us to record with him.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't expect any money.
Yeah.
He says to us, I don't know, let me take you guys to grab something to eat, at least. Okay. We go to you ever been to DiMattio's, he says to me? I go, yeah, it's been a while. They make great burgers there. I say, of course I know. So we go there, we belly up to the bar, and he says, and you want 3 burgers and fries. 3 burgers and fries. Sound good? He ordered for us. Okay. 3 burgers and fries. Well, Joe and I destroyed, just absolutely destroyed our burger. John was like taking his first bite. He looked over and the food was gone. He's
Gone.
What? He goes, wow. He goes, you guys hungry? He goes, you guys couldn't eat another one though. And we like looked at him.
Challenge accepted.
No, it wasn't a challenge. It was just sort of like, when do you ever just eat one burger? You know what I mean? And he goes, you know what? Yeah, get these guys. So we did set us right up again and put up again. So for years now, ever since then, John Liebing goes on stage. If Joe or I walk in the room, he'll, between songs, tell the story.
Yeah.
He'll go, so one time I had Joe Rossi and Jose Lopez do some recording for me, and I could pay him, so I thought I'd take him out to eat. He goes, it cost me $478.83 for burgers and fries. Now, every time he tells the story, the money goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next time same thing, cost me $598.32. It just goes up every time. And I mean, people laugh, but it was funny. It was good burgers. Go to DiMattio's, good burgers.
You're a brunch guy. I'm making it my life mission to do one brunch with you. Just one, Jose.
You should. You should come down to Herkimer. There's a place called Toca Boca.
Okay.
That just opened up not that long ago. Do you know Joe Sweet?
I don't.
Joe Sweet is a guitar player, singer. You should try to get him here on this show. He's been in the business around here for a long time. He was the singer, guitar player for Joe Mama and the Funk Daddies, and he was the lead singer for a band called Nine Ball for a long time. Okay. So, but he does solo stuff now for the most part. He plays solo or a duo with Devin Guermon on sax. It's fun. And Joe and his wife opened up this place called Toca Boca in Herkimer, and they do brunches on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3. And the food is absolutely amazing. The vibe's amazing. Yeah. The vibe in the place is awesome. I mean, they really,
was
they're
it
killing
Justin or Max that just played there?
Max played there, but Justin has played there.
Yeah.
My first time going there was they started doing brunch a while back. Justin, I think, might have been their first artist they had for brunch.
Why not get
and we went over. All of us, and Justin was playing in the corner, and we had a blast. But my wife and I, I'm not even joking when I tell you, I'm sort of embarrassed to say, we go there like once a week, I think, since they started doing brunch, either Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. I'll look at my wife at, Sunday morning or something like that. I'll go, you want to go to brunch? She'll go, yes. We'll just boom, out the door. But it's an amazing menu. There's something for everybody on there. But yeah, it's a wonderful place. If you get a chance, they're open all week long. I think the only days they're not open are Monday, Tuesday, something like that. But they're open all week long. Toca Boca. Try it out. It's amazing.
Cool name, too. Toca Boca.
Yeah. It's awesome.
How can you forget that?
No, but, yeah, so I love brunch. I love eating. Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious over here. All right. I mean, come on. But I do love brunch.
But you're not filling your belly full of McDonald's and Burger King and all that crap.
I can't eat that stuff anymore. Believe it or not, it doesn't agree with me.
Nope.
Doesn't agree with me. You might as well
just sit on the toilet and eat it.
No, I'm a foodie. I actually, it's funny because I don't eat a lot of sweets and desserts. I want more of whatever it was. If I'm eating steaks, I don't want dessert. I want another steak.
I used to eat steak before this.
You know what I mean? If I'm eating seafood, do you want dessert? No, I would like more seafood. That's where my brain's gone. That I don't keep the desserts to yourself. I just want whatever the deliciousness is that I'm eating at the time.
See, the Showtime money goes to food.
Oh, my
How many bases do you have?
24.
24. And you sit there and strum in your big recliner, right? Or don't you have a big recliner?
I do have a big recliner at the house. Yeah, I mean, that's where I do most of my practicing and whatnot, is right there in my lounge at home. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to ever have that many bases again.
Yeah.
And I was in college, I had 17 bases. When I was now in college, I was very fortunate. I went to college. My parents insisted on paying my rent while I was away at college because I was the first of the kids in the family to go to college and actually go over. And they were like, we don't want you having to worry about paying rent, so we'll pay. So I was playing with the band a couple times a week. I was assistant cook at one of the kitchens at the school at Oneonta. So between classes, I would go from a class to the kitchen and chop vegetables, and then I go to a class, and I go back and I'd flip, grilled chicken and stuff and whatnot, and I would do that, and I was making very good money for a college kid, and I really didn't have a lot of anything to spend it on. So I had like 17 bases and stuff like that. Well, then I whittled it down when I moved away and stuff. I think I ended up at one point back down to like 2 bases, which that's all you really need. And then I said to myself, you don't need bases. You don't need them. But then you get into a position where you want them and you see them. So I've got a Hofner Beatle bass. I've the violin bass, the one Paul McCartney played, because I'm a huge Beatles fan. I've got the Jack Cassidy Epiphone hollow body bass. He's bass player from Jefferson Airplane, Hot Tuna, and so they're signature basses by people who I idolize and whatnot. I've got the first bass I ever owned, which I had traded away when I was in college, but then I got it back.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, just so you just sort of collect, hey, and then or someone calls you, hey, listen, man, I need some money. I'm selling this bass for $150, $200, whatever. You want to take a look at it? Sure. What the hell? Yeah, all right, I'll take it. So yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah. I actually, this is a couple of years ago. It might have been like during the C word. Nobody likes to talk about the C word that we had a few years ago. But I was sitting around not having too much to do, so I went through, and you guys can't see this, but there's a story behind every one of these. Yeah. This was the bass from Carmen Carmonica's studio that recorded tracks and that we taught bass lessons on at the studio. Yeah. I bought it from him when he was closing the studio.
Oh, that's pretty.
It was my grandfather's. There's a OLP. This was 1983 Fender Precision bass, was given to me, belonged to a great friend of ours who passed away years ago, Lester Duval. Love you, Lessa. Yeah. And his wife gave this to me after he passed away and said he always wanted me to have one of his basses. Yeah. So there's a headless job from the 80s, there's a Thunderbird bass. There's just sort of but every single one of these has a story behind it. And I went through and I took pictures of all of them. And I started posting them on Facebook and stuff like that. And
look at that one.
There's a guitar. There's a guitar. That's the Rocky Raccoon guitar.
You guys are missing out.
From the Beatles. That's the Beatles. George Harrison used that.
Wow.
So anyway,
that's priceless.
And there's a family photo. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things. You don't think about it, but then all of a sudden, buy this one, you buy that one. Now you're like,
I got 24.
Oh my God, Jesus, I got 20-something bases.
And you'd buy more too, wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't need to. But I mean, if there's something that jumps out at me or whatever, or I find a deal or something, I mean, yeah, and it's just sort of, and like I've said before, I cry when I think of all the basses and amps and gear that I've sold or traded or gotten rid of over the years. I wish I never got rid of anything.
That's a lot of people.
Now that I'm in a position in my life where I don't have to worry about that, I'm not ever going to sell anything ever again, unless, God forbid, I have to.
My dad gave away a 1957 Nomad.
Yeah.
To his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just want to, so, I mean, and of course, my son stands to inherit, all this stuff, which, he might go, I don't want that. But then again, maybe
I'm sure
he
he'd
does.
be honored to have it.
Yeah, we'll see. But,
You're not going anywhere for a long time.
well,
long time.
I hope not. But, yeah, I'm one DiMattio's cheeseburger away. How you doing?
Thank you for this. You gave me my confidence back. I felt like I kicked it out of the ballpark this time.
Well, listen.
Knocked it out of the ballpark.
Kicked it out of the stadium.
I kicked something.
I just pulled something. Hold on.
But I got my confidence back in this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's you obviously do a great job with this, and I don't question yourself because, like I said, you're doing something. You like you said, you got 60 of these.
I did it out of love. I really did.
They can coming up.
Yeah.
They can get. You might ask the same questions to a lot of different people. You might hear some similar stories.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's all different because it's all coming from different people, different backgrounds, different perspectives on things. So just keep doing it. And like I said, we appreciate you doing stuff like this because it just helps us get the word out there about stuff that's going on. We're happy that some people enjoy it and like it, and
1,500 like it so far.
Knock on wood. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But thank you again for having me.
No
I really
problem,
appreciate
man.
it.
Sunday's a special one. Bill Ali has to be moved up from August 7th to Mother's Day.
Okay.
I was like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah,
so that's going to be an honor.
What time are you doing that one?
3 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, I was going to say after you're done, you and he hop in the car, come over to Sylvan Beach.
What time are you there?
2 to 6.
Well,
and hopefully the weather's. We would like to play outside, but obviously it all depends on the weather and how that shakes out.
I am who I am, so I want to talk to you guys too.
Oh, that's like I said. Don't ever at gigs. Don't ever again feel like you are. No, it's not you. Believe me, it's us and just where we go in our heads when it comes.
That's what
to
she
certain
told me.
things.
She goes, he's probably in the zone.
And that's it. And obviously, there's so many people, and I wish I could spend this much time sitting down and talking to all of them.
This is
you know
an
what
honor
I mean?
for me, man. It really is.
It's you're doing a great thing, man. We appreciate it. Like I said, so
we'll wrap this up and
Yeah.
get you on your way.
Thank you very much for having me.
Anymore, you got to be.
check
Jose.
out Showtime the Band on Facebook. Showtime the Band. Just click on events. You'll see our gigs coming up. You see photos of all of us, and you can use them as dartboards. Thank you.
Love you, brother. Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. Jose Lopez. Damn it.
Chilling like the villain.
Check out Showtime, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.